How lucky can one guy be? Oh, damn. Okay. This is LB the Realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News where the realists are real. Thank you for joining me today. And we're going to see if this video even works. It's blinking, it's blinking, it's blinking, it's blinking, it's still blinking. Rejecting calls, okay. So, maybe it was just a setting. So let's see, let's go to Google. Alright, we're still blinking, and we're still on, and we're still rejecting calls. Alright, we're gonna Google Tulsi Gabbard, and we're going to go, where are we going? Oh, let's go to Mediaite. We're gonna read from Mediaite. All right, Mediaite. That's what I like to call it, Mediaite. Yeah, okay. So it was a setting. It wouldn't let me record audio while I, was on a different page on my phone. But I just went to settings and clicked reject call. I don't know why they switched the setting in the first place, because I had it was already set up correctly, and all of a sudden it just stopped working. All right, anyways, Ron Paul backs Tulsi Gabbard's 2020 bid in appearance on Russia TV. She is good on foreign policy. All right, we're still recording. Isn't this something? All right, so that was a really rough entrance. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it like this. We're just gonna keep it realist. This is how I do. One take. It's not always one take. All right, but anyways, here we go. Ron Paul, the former Texas congressman and ardent non-interventionist, am I saying that correctly? Non-interventionist. Yeah, I feel like I was missing a syllable. All right. Ron Paul, the former Texas congressman and ardent non-interventionist, hailed presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard during an appearance on Russia's state-run network RT. When asked on RT's show Politicking for his thoughts on the Democratic candidates challenging Trump in 2020, the retired libertarian singled out Gabbard, a congresswoman representing Hawaii. Tulsi Gabbard is by far the very, very best, Paul said. He pronounced Tulsi Gabbard. He pronounced it Tulsi Gabbard. She is very, very liberal when it comes to economics. We probably wouldn't agree too much on economics, but she is good on foreign policy. She does not want these engagements, which is an economic issue. We'd save a lot of money by not being engaged. But she is the most intelligent and would be the best. If we had to pick one of them to be our president, I think she would be giving us the best chance for bringing about peace, he added. That Paul aligns with Gabbard on her opposition to U.S. intervention in foreign countries is not surprising. His perception of her views might be a little optimistic. However, Gabbard may oppose regime change, but certainly not intervention. She self-identifies as a hawk in the war on terror, and once complained that the U.S. wasn't bombing Syria enough, while criticizing those who questioned Russia's devastating bombing campaign of the flattened country. So, a little jab at Tulsi at the end there, but it's all good. A little jab at Tulsi at the end there, but it's all good. Ron Paul, libertarian, is backing Tulsi Gabbard. That's the main takeaway. That's the main takeaway that I'm getting from the article. I don't know why I picked Mediaite. I just like saying Mediaite, even though it's not technically all right. All right, anyways, look. Ron Paul backs Tulsi Gabbard. Joe Rogan backs Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a force to be reckoned with, and quite frankly, I'm getting irritated that people are leaving Tulsi Gabbard out of the mix. They're leaving Tulsi Gabbard out of the mix. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to give her her shine. They don't want to give her her respect. She's constantly being, talked down to in the media, on these news shows. It's like, you're forgetting that you're talking to a veteran. Have you forgotten that you're talking to, a Hindu American? You're talking to a woman, you know what I'm saying? These people just have no respect. It's just incredible that Tulsi can encompass all of this greatness, just, and people just refuse to respect her. It's unbelievable. And these are the same people that was, be all rah saying, we gotta take care of our troops, respect our troops. But you're not respecting the troops. She is a troop. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's our troops. You feel me? Like, Tulsi Gabbard is a war, I ain't gonna say she's a war hero, but basically she was a medic. You know what I'm saying? So she knows the cost of war. She understands this whole issue surrounding, Syria and Yemen and all of these foreign affairs, all of these foreign issues. Who would you think would be best qualified to deal with these things other than Tulsi Gabbard right now? You know what I'm saying? Don't Joe Biden, are we serious with Joe Biden in the polls right now? Look, if Joe Biden wins the Democratic primary, I think that we deserve Trump for another 4 years. Because that just don't make no damn sense. Joe Biden, like, I get Hillary Clinton. Like, I get that one, because not everybody was real woke then, and Hillary Clinton had that kind of appeal where it was like, yeah, she was married to Bill, and it was like everybody was basically, yeah, I guess Hillary Clinton, I'll vote for Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton, we all know Hillary Clinton. I guess, yeah, she's the most qualified because she was Secretary of State, she was this, she was that, and, but Joe Biden, though, the author of the crime bill, the one that locked up so many people of color, all because of the war on drugs, like Joe Biden, creepy Joe, touchy-feely Joe, that doesn't know boundaries Joe, that Joe. Come on, man, Joe Biden. Oh my God. Joe Biden? Why though? Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, enough with that. I hate saying his name. Look, Tulsi Gabbard is the way to go. It just boggles my mind that people don't understand, or they just, and here's another thing that irritates me. Why do people, it seems like whenever people mention or they say the name Elizabeth Warren, they really meant to say Tulsi Gabbard. It's like, really, people, like, folks, for real, Elizabeth Warren, do you honestly think that she's gonna maybe she represents you, but I mean, do you honestly think that she's gonna fight for you? Do you honestly think that she's gonna fight for anybody? Man, like, she may be rah-rah on certain issues, but really, she flip-flopped on whether or not the election was, the primaries were rigged against Bernie. When Donna Brazile came out, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, you don't just come back from that. You just don't come back. That was real tacky what she did, and it was just real obvious. It was real obvious. It was like, come on, like, ugh, really? So when the heat gets turned up, that's how you act. That's how you are. You flip-flop. We don't mess with flip-floppers, people. No. It's one thing if you evolve on issues such as Tulsi Gabbard has. She's a prime example of an evolution of somebody who was, more conservative minded, that just grew super progressive. But Elizabeth Warren, this is the same person that was claiming she was Cherokee or something like that, Indian, and then we found out she wasn't even Indian. Like, the same person that didn't stand up for, the indigenous folk at Standing Rock until it was like too late. Like, we're talking about this Elizabeth Warren. Come on, the Elizabeth Warren that goes tat for tat with Trump. Like, this is who you guys want, with the screechy voice, Elizabeth Warren. not the same thing against people with screechy voices. I'm just saying when you add all that with the screechy voice, that's just much. It's just much. But that's who people keep talking. I keep hearing people talk about, well, Elizabeth, maybe Bernie Sanders or even Elizabeth Warren. No. Elizabeth Warren does not have a spine. Stop it, folks. Stop. Stop with Elizabeth Warren. But anyways, Tulsi Gabbard, folks. Let's get Tulsi Gabbard. She already made the debates. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue to just give her love and support and continue to uplift her name. Tulsi Gabbard. There's a person with integrity. There's a person with a spine. Let's read another article why not? It's recording. I'm feeling bubbly this morning. Good morning, folks, by the way. Good afternoon and good night. Tulsi Gabbard, the media is ignoring me. This is from Honolulu Civil Beat. This is just the headline that I'm reading. Top stories this morning. This is from one day ago. So let's read. Let's see what they have to say. Because Tulsi thinks that the media is ignoring her. And I think that, yeah. They're not really giving her respect. They're not giving her respect at all. They're not giving her shine. They're not highlighting all of her best qualities. So let's read from the article. This is from Honolulu Civil Beat. Excuse me. Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard says the mainstream media is giving her the cold shoulder. On Tuesday, Gabbard's campaign blasted out a fundraising request to her supporters that attacked the press for simultaneously smearing her name and ignoring her bid for the White House. Gabbard has barely registered in the polls and is hovering around 1%, which, side note, is effing incredible. I'm trying not to cuss anymore, folks. Like, not, I don't know. I'm trying not to cuss. But anyways, she's barely hovering around 1%, like that. But people like Pete Buttigieg is above her in the polls, and all of these other people are above Tulsi Gabbard in the polls. Like, come on, like, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I felt this way about Bernie, in 2016. I was feeling the exact same way. I guess. You can't always trust the poll. Let me continue with the article. The fundraising email says the media attacks Gabbard because she is taking on the chicken hawks in both parties, the corporate media, and the military-industrial complex who drives us into war for their own power and profit. It's a familiar complaint from the Hawaii Congresswoman. Gabbard likes to rally her base by going after the very media that anointed her as the Democratic Party's rising star in the first place. That sparkle has clearly diminished. Specifically, Gabbard's campaign has tried to make the media a foil in her 2020 presidential campaign by arguing that it ignores her message of peace while propping up political warmongers who support endless regime change wars. She's absolutely correct. For example, when NBC News reported that the Russian propaganda machine appeared to be backing Gabbard's candidacy, she lashed out at the media giants ruled by corporate interests who are in the pocket of the establishment war machine, end quote. And while Gabbard's latest fundraising email doesn't appear tied to a specific news article, it does say she's worried about being bumped from the summer debate stage, despite the fact her campaign says she's already qualified under Democratic National Committee rules. Yeah, I heard about that. They're trying to move the goalpost on her. We know this country is hungry for Tulsi's message. Quote, we know this country is hungry for Tulsi's message and her kick-ass, balls to the wall, take no prisoners approach to speaking truth to power, no matter the cost to her politically, the email says. So if the media won't cover her fairly, we'll take our campaign directly to the people. The Congresswoman's claims of being ignored fall flat. However, especially when considering she's a frequent guest on national news shows, and according to tallies compiled by CQ's Newsmaker, has participated in more than 100 interviews since being elected to Congress in 2012. Her relationship with the local Hawaii press is another matter. Gabbard has a reputation for ducking interviews with journalists in her home state. She's also come under fire for refusing to debate her political opponents. Oh, so they're taking little jabs at Tulsi. So you see how, you see how the media is doing Tulsi? You know, this is, I'm reading some of the comments here. Let's see. Having been following it, this is from a person named Joel from 8 hours ago. Having been following each candidate very closely, it is the truth that Tulsi Gabbard either gets, number one, smeared like no other. Please just watch her CNN town hall with ambushes and DNC operatives and hosts alike asking her the nasty questions, in contrast with Buttigieg's easy sailing town hall. Or two, flat ignored both by the media unless there is an attempt at smearing her, exactly, and worse by some polls, which as a recent ABC polls where she was totally left out from a list of 30 candidates. Hopefully people will start seeing through all of this. Yep, exactly. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Yep, I agree. I agree. That was the first comment I seen. First comment I seen. Smeared like no other. You know what I'm saying? Smeared like how the blatant disrespect that they throw at Tulsi Gabbard is amazing. Amazing. Or flatly ignored in the polls. They totally leave out Tulsi Gabbard in the polls. You know what I'm saying? They totally leave out her name in lists, in the list period. So they're trying to black her out, or if they're not trying to black her out, they're at least trying to make her seem like she's not significant, or that her campaign isn't significant, which is bullshit. Tulsi Gabbard, she's a veteran, not to play identity politics, but she's a veteran, she's a woman, she's a Hindu American. I mean, she voted for Bernie Sanders. She dropped out of the DNC, or stepped down from her position at the DNC of vice chair, just to support Bernie Sanders. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, she did that because she believed in a candidate that, was fighting a giant in Hillary Clinton. She did that. If that doesn't tell you how much integrity she has, I mean, I just don't know what. She's for all the right things, all the right policies. The most people can really say about Tulsi Gabbard is what? She has a love affair with Mo D, somebody I didn't even know about until they started throwing that insult at her, number one. And number two, it turns out that it's not so much a love affair as it is with other people, other candidates that are running. Turns out, like, I don't care, like. And then what is the other insult you have? The other complaint you have about Tulsi Gabbard? She had some things to say about gay people back when she was more conservative, back like years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I love Bernie. And Bernie stands for all the right stuff too. He's got some work to do when it comes to black issues, and that's just my personal belief and a lot of other people's personal beliefs. You may disagree with that, but black issues is a thing, but and he's been standing for the right things for a long time. So he hasn't done so much. He has more evolving to do now on certain issues, but for the most part, he's always stayed the same. Whereas Tulsi, evolved, or is constantly evolving, so I don't fault people for not being where they should be at a specific time. if you're a certain way at one point, but you change, like, don't you get credit for that? You know what I'm saying? And I guess some people will give you credit, but they'll still be like, no, because at one point in time you were like this. But at one point in time, we were all like something, you know, especially if it's in our household. But that says more about you as a person if you grow up in a certain mindset and you're able to totally flip that 180 and go the different way. That says more about that person that's able to do that versus a person who's always believed something and never had to evolve on an issue. You know, that person who had to evolve in an issue, I think, to me, has a lot more strength. But, you know, that's my own opinion. But anyways, I didn't want to make this one too long. You know, this is already going on 21 minutes here. You know, if you like me, like the video, comment at the end of the video, share this video, and subscribe to the video. Subscribe for Tulsi, subscribe for me, subscribe for yourself. Live life in peace and love and happiness and enlightenment. Keep fighting the good fight, people. All right? You can find me on all social media. LBTHAREALIST. LB the realist. Yeah. And support the show. Support the movement. Until next time. Go Tulsi, go. I'm out.